Hello, everyone. Welcome to a mini podcast series that Future Ed Curriculum Designs have devised. Here we will have teachers who are going to be in the spotlight, and they are going to be sharing with us powerful practices, stories of impact, and tools that make teaching meaningful. And today with us, we have Padma ma'am. And as we are going to talk to her, I would want her to introduce herself and let us know about her huge legacy of work, ma'am.
Hi, Tanya. Thank you very much. I think you have started some incredible work, and I'm happy to be a part. So I'm Padma Sekar from Bangalore. Currently, I'm teaching at Stonehill International School, the IBPYP program, and teach grade 4 because it's a generalist thing. So I teach all the subjects. That's about a little about me, but I've been in this education field for 23 years now. So I know that then, in some time I'll have to be put in the museum. So that would sum up my age. Yep.
And I'm aware that you are also somebody who guides, young educators who come in. You also provide for a lot of workshops and webinars. So maybe during the discussion, we'll talk about that as well. So
Sure.
in the first bit or the first question, rather to you would be to get an idea of, a classroom technique. Over the years, have you actually identified a classroom technique that really works for you? Or how did you come up with it? Were you told about it, or did you discover it, or was it an aha moment for you? So if you could share.
All right. So, a classroom technique, when you're talking about it, I just realized that one of the orientation schedule when I was with my mentors, there was a icebreaker activity, and it was to like follow a rhythm kind of a thing in a circle. And I started using that later as a, attention grabber in my class, which still continues. I think I learned it sometime in 2007. And, so it's like following a rhythm by clapping and children follow the rhythm. That's one technique that I have kind of, been using for so many years. Of course, there are a lot of attention grabbers you will find on the net and stuff like that, but this has worked the best for me.
And
Um,
how do students respond to it? As in,
Actually, students like routines, they like rhythm.
mm,
Especially younger kids. So when you are giving them a rhythm, they kind of enjoy that rhythm and then they start following it. They don't want to miss the rhythm, and there's motivation factor is also someone coming to demonstrate a rhythm which others can follow. So sometimes I do that as well so that they are more involved in it. So I normally see that they calm down and within a couple of minutes they're settled so
mhm.
that you can give your instructions. Yeah.
Thank you. So the next segment, we are going to talk about a moment where you saw a shift in student learning or engagement. What was it like before and what changed after? Did you get any feedback from parents that you understood that you've actually made some kind of a mark in their, in their impressionable age, that they are actually doing better? And how has it influenced your long-term teaching? So if you could tell us about it.
I think, see, the first thing that I have always, uh, focused on is making connections
Mhm.
with the students, with the learners.
Right.
And then, when the connections are made, it goes beyond students. Then it goes to the parents uh, and then being a good listener. I've seen that, when parents have problems and you're looking genuinely at it to resolve problems. Those are some things that I'm top of the hat that I'm remembering. But I did make a couple of things that, I had made a note of.
Mhm.
This happened very recently in this session, that 24-25 session, where a couple of kids had a lot of, with COVID, there were a lot of learning gaps that children have developed.
True.
So this last session, I taught grade 3. They had a lot of, two of them were really quite backwards in the math concepts. In the sense they were far behind math concepts.
Mhm.
The parents were very worried.
Mhm.
Initially, it was only one parent who came up and she first threw a fit tantrum that you guys are not teaching anything, and my daughter doesn't know this, and my daughter doesn't know that, and you know how it's always easy, right?
Yeah.
And so she made a big, fuss, aha, oho about it. She
Mm-hmm.
met principal, and so all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was came up with a plan and then shared it with my principal, and then we shared it with the parent as to what we are going to do. So I had started with 15 minutes of intervention for this child
Mm-hmm.
every day morning, come what may. So whatever it is, except for, like, we had single subjects, like if they have music or something
Mm-hmm.
on one particular day, but otherwise 4 days in a week, 15 minutes of math intervention, only for the topics that the child was like, she did not know how to do
Struggling.
borrowing, and I'm talking the sense of primary kids.
Of course.
So borrowing and carrying forward.
Mm-hmm.
So we were targeting that. And then for her, math fluency,
Mm-hmm.
was a problem, fact fluency. So that was another focus. So I had another teacher, learning support teacher, who came in,
Mm-hmm.
and she was targeting the 15-minute intervention.
Okay.
And then I came up with math centers on rotation in the classroom. So, which is like, so I had grouped them ability wise,
Okay.
and and then had a rota for, like Mondays, this group will come to me, and the other groups will have the center one task, center two tasks. I know it's a lot of organization. Initially, I kind of struggled.
Yeah.
But then I used a Cult of Pedagogy, Jennifer Gonzalez's website, which has some tips on these rotations, how to do math centers. I learned this actually after observing a teacher, a colleague of mine,
Okay.
because for us, during our goal setting,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's a mandate that we need to observe two colleagues depending on what could your goals be. So you could go and observe. So that was something very nice. So I had gone to this person's class and saw that, the math rotations were really working very well.
Right.
So I wanted to implement it. I'm still evolving and I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, one is this kid did develop a lot of fact fluency
Okay.
by end of the year. And also we started doing targeted interventions on Fridays where we had ability-wise groups in math across the grades. So we were three grades.
Okay.
So it's like ABC. So
Mm-hmm.
all the classes put together, ability-wise, we put them into groups. We had about five teachers. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we had the luxury of three class teachers, one teaching assistant, and then a learning support teacher coming in,
Okay.
because there are some children who need to be extended. I
Hmm.
mean, they are gifted
Gifted.
and they can get frustrated. So we targeted those kids separately so that, there are challenges for them.
Mm-hmm.
So every, week we had one session like that where they used to look forward to,
Right.
the gifted and talented would look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the year, I think the parent had a meeting. Of course, there was another parent who joined also, how word spreads.
Mm-hmm.
And both the parents came in front of the principal when they had a meeting. They thanked myself and my other colleague who had, and said that, my daughter has become more confident in math now.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I can see that there has been real teaching that has happened. I mean, that's what that was her feedback. So I would say that that was a good shift.
Mm-hmm.
Even for the kid, she became more confident. So I think that was one thing which, parents saying is something not very, but
Not
then,
common at all. Yes. Parents'
yeah,
appreciation means actually that there is some kind of a
yeah,
shift that is happening.
yeah, more than the parent, for me, it was the kid who developed that confidence, the one who never used to talk in the math class,
Mm-hmm.
started answering questions. And so that was a big
You
win-win
you
for
see the shift in the confidence, yes, in the body language. Absolutely.
uh,
I'm so glad this happened, and we are sharing this with the community and taking this forward because you've had a lot of experience, ma'am. How have you supported the community, like, educator community? Was there any PD sessions that you ran, or was there any resources that you curated? How important, you've already told us about the importance of peer your support. You walked into somebody's classroom and you found out that was a way. So, how have you also extended your help to educators, if you could tell us?
All right. See, one thing that I strongly believe in is that uh, teaching cannot happen when you cease to learn.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I believe is that you have to constantly learn, connect with people, and keep learning.
Yes.
So right from 2005, 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, those were like, I used to work in a school in Bangalore called Bethany.
Okay.
And that's one of the schools which, I would still go back to because we used to have wonderful orientation programs and training sessions and things like that, which was quite early in my career. It was like when I was just about 29, 30.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I would come back to Bangalore because North holiday patterns and South patterns vary. So
Okay.
June here school starts and there June school used to close in the
Right.
North.
Mm-hmm.
So when I used to come, I used to go and attend those induction orientations after asking the principal that I want to come and be there.
How
And
nice.
yeah, so I would, and he was very happy to have me there.
Of course.
And then I would go back to my school and pick up some of those things and do it during the orientation. So
Mm-hmm.
my principal had given that liberty to kind of, hold that. So that is where I think I started, taking back and, communicating what I have learned.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also a very social person, I like to connect. So I think that also being, helped me.
True.
COVID time was when I actually started, doing webinars and with the Getty, which
Mm-hmm.
is the one which is with Lucknow, the Sunita Gandhi School, City Montessori School. They
Right.
have their training wing. So I have done a few recordings with them on, how to bring in the global goals into classroom, how to bring in storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did about four of them during the class during COVID time. And I also presented in a conference about different digital tools that one can use. This was also in 2018, 19, beginning of 19. So those kind of motivated me that when you gain knowledge, you should also share knowledge with everybody else.
Absolutely.
So off late, I have been doing a few workshops. We
Mm-hmm.
do workshops in school also. So we sign up and then we conduct it, and then the others also come in. That's one way I feel, it's good to share with the fellow educators. We don't know everything. I mean, it's always a give and take policy.
Yes.
When you do something, you always take back something. Recently, just about on the 5th of July and the 28th of June, 5th of July, I conducted one on inquiry based approach towards the lesson planning. I did it along with the Adhyayan, quality education services. And what came back as a feedback was very heartwarming for me, very inspiring, because they said they are more confident in taking it back into the classroom.
Right.
So that's how, and we also in the planning we always co-plan. So there's a lot of exchange of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is you're not alone. So you have
Yes.
your team and you're planning together, and so the ideas come, and then you take the best, and then So I think that way also you give and take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and that's something that I've been wanting to do. That when I retire, uh, I would like to have these training sessions and
Absolutely.
yeah.
I think
Curating process, I don't think I've curated anything as such.
mhm.
That's not been in my forte as of now. I've not found the time. Right now, I'm still in that phase where I keep gathering resources.
But you also share it with teachers in your workshops, right?
Yep,
So,
I do.
like you said, you went back to Bangalore and to that PD to those PD sessions. So even recently, while we were having PD sessions in our school, the one thing that always comes out is teachers want to share, want to talk about it. Because the joy that they feel in some kind of something that they've achieved, they want to share. So I think we should harness that joy and we should spread, because because we don't get a lot of time. So I think there should be protected time in, teachers speaking with each other and, sharing. Thank you so much. And let's come to resources, resource sharing. You've already told us about the work that you do in sharing your ideas and your knowledge. Is there a template or a link or some website that you think would help, teachers across subjects or grades? Because you take, a cohort of students across subjects. So, do you have anything in mind for us?
So Cult of Pedagogy run by Jennifer Gonzalez is really very nice.
Okay.
People can get a lot of resources there.
Mhm.
There's also mystery science because you're a science person. There's mystery science, which is also, very hands-on activities and things like that that they give.
Right.
Uh, Very, very interesting. I had used recently one on where you have to use, it's a roller coaster that you make
Mm-hmm.
and use a marble, and the roller coaster ends in a place where there are crocodiles, a marshy place.
Okay.
So the person should not land in the crocodile's mouth. So
Okay.
what would the force be? What should you do to stop that? So
Oh.
that was something that I picked up from Mystery Science. I tried it myself, and then I took it, and one of the kids in my class, he's doesn't speak much English. He's a Korean kid, doesn't speak
Okay.
much English, and you cannot get his attention to do anything. He
Mm-hmm.
will be only very creative. He'll be creating something or the other. So for him, I gave this challenge to him. And he came up with he did some, here and there, some mischief, but
Mm-hmm.
then he came up with, and he was able to explain what he did. So Mystery Science is really, really a good website to go back to. The
Mm-hmm.
other day, I think you were also there in the unconferencing that we attended, one of the workshops where I also saw that Steve, he had given some, yeah, Wonder of Science is another. I did just go and explore a bit.
Mm-hmm.
There is Math Prodigy, which is also very good with games.
Mm-hmm.
So concepts can be learned through games.
Mm.
And this is also for trigonometry and for, integration. It's for the lower classes. So everybody can use that. And mathplayground.com is another one. So there are a lot of plenty of these kind of links that websites one can use.
Yes.
Um, just that you need to land in the correct one. Brain Pop is another one which has got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
videos with tools to children to code and do videos after that.
I've heard of that, but I've never explored it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Brain Pop is good as well.
Okay. Thank you so much. I mean, I think you've given us quite a lot of links to go to and explore. Um, so for you, people like you and me, teaching may come quite naturally to us because maybe we have an inclination towards teaching, and the nature that we have maybe adheres to what teaching requires us to do. But there are teachers who struggle. So, and there are teachers who don't feel that this is like my second nature. So, what could they do to become better teachers? Do you have anything to tell them?
Absolutely. Now, first thing is that don't cease to learn. I think that should be the mantra.
Mhm.
I know everything and I don't have to learn anything kind of stuff. That's the first thing that, whether a seasoned educator or a struggling educator or a novice, never cease to learn.
Mhm.
Reach out to colleagues. It's always good to reach out to colleagues. I know sometimes the atmosphere is so that, what will they think? Will they take back the message that, I'm not very competent, and so you need to have somebody whom you can really have as a mentor in the work atmosphere, to
Mhm.
whom you can always go and fall back upon.
Mhm.
Now there are so many forums like you, and there are so many other forums where people are constantly writing, hey, I'm going to teach this. Do you have any fresh ideas? Kind of stuff. So exchanging notes. And also, when there may be times when you're feeling very frustrated, your class is not behaving well, or you've not been able to get across the concept very well. And so when I feel demotivated that way, the only thing I do is to think of the success stories that have happened with me,
Mm-hmm.
On that particular day, maybe one lesson would have gone like, wow. And
Yes.
then the next lesson would have gone because of
Mm-hmm.
so looking at back at the success stories when things are not going the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel very powerful is observing colleagues' lessons
Okay.
after taking permission. One
Right.
can always, like your mentor or a
Mm-hmm.
friend whom you think does excellent work when it comes to English class or chemistry class or a physics class, whatever.
Right.
Take their permission and observe their class without making them feel intimidated.
Mm-hmm.
A short, like, what is it that you're focusing on so that you can do that. When I was the first year of my teaching in Ranchi,
Mm-hmm.
I was given English in the eighth grade, so geography and English,
Okay.
because they had a geography teacher was not there. So I was like, some of the things I was not very technically very happy about that I had the knowledge.
True.
And similarly with grammar teaching, I
Uh-huh.
was very comfortable teaching grammar.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a coordinator who
Mm-hmm.
used to teach grammar. So I said, I want to come and be in your classes.
Okay.
So I would be there and just be there and support him, like, if there is any work going on. And he said, grammar should not be taught, it has to be caught. And, so that's something that's remained. So right from that time, I've always observed colleagues' classes.
Okay.
And, so that gives you a lot to learn, lots to learn. Small, small things. There may be a new teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but they may have some wonderful ideas.
Yes.
So it's not that I've been teaching for 23 years and my ideas are the best.
Yes.
So observe colleagues whenever you can.
Mm-hmm.
And also there are websites which you can see people having classes, like, running classes. Videos are there
Mm-hmm.
where you could also see, if you like, look at some of educationers, you can tune in and
Mm-hmm.
you will be able to see some of those classes as well. So those are all examples that one can use.
So, so
So
true.
I like you're saying that, not everybody has the flair. And I remember when I was 30, I had a coordinator and she said, oh, the exact same thing that you said.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that, you are one person who is trying to learn to be a good teacher.
Mm-hmm.
But I always thought that I had a natural flair for teaching. That was what my belief was. But then she said, oh, you're trying to learn and be a good teacher. So, now when I look back, I think I'm a mix of both.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for letting us know about your journey. And I'm sure that we'll get in touch with you again and we'll get a lot of perspectives from you, learn from you. And I look forward to this journey with you as well.
Thank
Thank
you very much, Tanya. Thank you for the
thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you.